What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Wednesday recording here at Chinochu Sports. It's your favorite host, Michael, and let's get into today's episode. So, I'm active on social media, so I should be scrolling through my Explore page and in a group chat with the other guys. We noticed that, there's a lot of incorrect sports takes that come up on my timeline. And some of them are egregious, but others, they're more subtle. They're more ones that not a lot of people are talking about, or the ones that you could see it one way unless you actually think about it deeply. So here are 3 incorrect sports takes that I see on social media all the time. Number 1, Cam Newton won't succeed in New England because it's a new system and a new offense. My response to that is, look, good coaches knows how to adjust. Everyone asks why did Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan so long? It's because in 2016, they were able to pivot from a pocket passer in Tony Romo to a 4th-round pick, Dak Prescott, who ran the read option in college. I mean, look at Dak's draft profile. He was known as an athletic quarterback, someone who can both run and throw the football. And they made that work for 13 regular season wins. What about Andy Reid? Everyone thinks Andy Reid is so great despite the fact that he hadn't won a Super Bowl up to this prior year because he's flexible. He knows how to adjust. Think about it. He pivoted twice from really solid pocket passers in Donovan McNabb and Alex Smith to 2 of the most dynamic playmaking quarterbacks we have seen in our lifetime with Michael Vick and Patrick Mahomes. Even if you look at college football, the best football coaches all know how to adjust. Nick Saban swapped QBs in the middle of a national championship and went on to win. Dabo Swinney swapped quarterbacks during the 2018 season and won a national championship. Lincoln Riley has had 3 different Heisman finalist quarterbacks in the past 3 seasons. 2 of them won the Heisman, 1 of them was a finalist, and he went to the college football playoffs with all 3 of those quarterbacks. So the good coaches knows how to adjust when it comes to new players and new systems, etc., etc. Bill Belichick is no different. People always say, without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick can't win. That's news to me. Look, since 2002, when Brady officially took the starting job, Bill Belichick is 14-6 in the games that Brady doesn't start. I don't care about Bill Belichick's record back in the 90s when back then a 60% completion percentage meant you were a great quarterback. Look, it's okay for Bill Belichick to have needed Tom Brady to learn how to win. It happens a lot of the time with great coaches. Look at Greg Popovich. It just so happened that the start of Greg Popovich's career came with David Robinson and Tim Duncan. But understand, he didn't win anything with David Robinson before Tim Duncan got there. Look at Doc Rivers. Before winning the NBA Finals in 2008, he was a sub-500 head coach. Now he's considered one of the greatest coaches of our generation. So see, it's okay to need someone to learn how to win first and then be able to win on your own later. So Belichick will be able to pivot and will be able to craft that team and that offense to Cam Newton's capabilities. And if you look at the Newton side of things, look, Cam is more than capable. Look at the last year he was at least somewhat healthy in 2018. He completed 68% of his passes, had a 94.2 passer rating, and according to NFL Next Gen stats, his qualified receivers averaged about 2.8 yards of separation. Compare that to Brady last year, he had a 61% completion percentage, an 88 passer rating, and his qualified receivers, according to NFL Next Gen stats, averaged 2.9 yards of separation. So what's the apprehension here? What is Cam not going to be able to do that Tom Brady did? Okay, yes, sure. Cam Newton may not be as accurate as a passer as Tom Brady. May not be. No, Cam Newton is definitely not as accurate as a passer as Tom Brady. But Cam Newton has shown the capability to do that. And he also can make plays with his legs. So if he doesn't see an opportunity to throw the ball, he can easily run it. Tom Brady didn't have that weapon in his arsenal. So Tom Brady essentially either had to take sacks or just to force balls in the windows that weren't even there. Cam Newton, if he doesn't see anything open, he can simply just run. And also look at the weapons that Cam Newton had in Carolina. What was one of his favorite weapons? A running back. What does New England have? A really good receiving running back in James White. What did Cam Newton also thrive with? A great defense. When he went to the Super Bowl in 2015, New England had a top-tier defense. What does Bill Belichick do? Coach nothing but top-tier defenses. What about the running game? Sony Michel. He had Jonathan Stewart. So when you look at who the Patriots are, it's not that much different from what Cam has had success with. So the fact that just because it's a new system and a new offense that Cam isn't going to be great or isn't going to succeed or isn't going to do well is purely bogus. Now, here's the second incorrect sports take. We all saw Patrick Mahomes get that 10-year, $450 million deal that goes up to over $500 million with incentives. And everyone's saying, oh, this means that Dak Prescott is going to get paid. Patrick Mahomes, no. Look, Jerry Jones may do a lot of stupid things, but I don't think even Jerry Jones would do something that asinine. Look at the Dallas Cowboys since Dak Prescott has got there. They ranked second in rush yards, fifth in scoring defense, went 13-3 in 2016, and they made the playoffs. In 2017, they ranked second in rush yards, 13th in scoring defense, went 9-7 and missed the playoffs. 2018, they went 10th in rushing yards, 6th in scoring defense, had a 10-6 record, made the playoffs. And in 2019, they went 5th in rushing yards, 11th in scoring defense, had an 8-8 record, and missed the playoffs. So Dak Prescott has only been to the playoffs 2 out of his 4 first seasons, which is good. It's good. That's great numbers. But everything around him has been, up to this point, pretty solid. He's always had a great O-line, and he always had a great running back. And when he didn't have Zeke, we all saw what happened. I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. A 76.6 passer rating, 7 total touchdowns, 10 total turnovers. He went 3-3. That was the record. He's had a top-tier defense. He's even had a top-tier kicker. So let's not act like Dak Prescott has been doing it all by himself. I mean, just simply look at 2019. Look at the quarterbacks that Dak Prescott lost to. He lost to Teddy Bridgewater, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Mitch Trubisky, and Carson Wentz in a must-win game. Oh, the quarterbacks that he beat? Eli Manning, Case Keenum, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Carson Wentz, which was probably his only impressive win of last year, Daniel Jones, Jeff Driscoll, Jared Goff, and Dwayne Haskins. What does that show me? But look at Patrick Mahomes in 2018, 2019. 2018, he had the 16th best rushing attack and the 24th best scoring defense, still went 12-4, and was a coin flip away, a D Ford offsides away from going to the Super Bowl. In 2019, he had the 23rd best rushing attack, 7th best scoring defense in the league, went 12-4, made it to the playoffs, and won the Super Bowl. And look at Patrick Mahomes in 2019. He lost to Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson, and Ryan Tannehill, and he beat Nick Foles, Derek Carr twice, Lamar Jackson, Matt Stafford, Joe Flacco, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Drew Lock, Mitch Trubisky, Deshaun Watson. He got his retribution. Ryan Tannehill got his retribution. Jimmy G got it. He beat Jimmy G. So when you look at what Dak Prescott has done in comparison to Patrick Mahomes, it's a far cry. The levels of success aren't even comparable. I mean, if you look at the splits based on wins and losses, look at Dak Prescott. In wins, he completed 70% of his passes, 22 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and has a 121 passer rating. But in losses, 61.5% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks, and an 84 passer rating. Well, you're going to say, oh, well, in losses, of course he does bad. Look at Patrick Mahomes. In his wins, 67% completion percentage, 19 touchdowns, 4 picks, and a 106 passer rating. In his losses, 62% completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a 104 passer rating. So, when the Cowboys lose, it's simply because Dak Prescott can't get it done. And he's throwing all these empty calorie yards, and it's not doing anything in the end. And look, I like Dak Prescott. He's a top 10 quarterback in the league. He's not top 5, but he's top 10. I would give him $30 million, maybe even 35. But no, come on. He's not getting a Mahomes level contract. He not even before the 10-year deal came out, and not after. He's not going to break the market. He's not going to break the bank. He's not going to be paid more than Russell Wilson. Dak Prescott, $30 million. That's where he's at. That's where he should be. No more, no less. And finally, number 3 for incorrect takes is Zion Williamson is Rookie of the Year. Okay, we all saw Zion at Duke. We all saw what he could do. We all saw him in his few minutes of summer league action. We all saw him get hurt. We was all waiting and anticipating and waiting and anticipating. And when he finally played, we all saw that the hype was real and that Zion is as good as advertised. So what? That doesn't automatically mean he's Rookie of the Year. Well, the Pelicans are a different team with Zion. Yeah, they shoot worse, turn the ball over more, and rebound better. Cool. Well, the Pelicans are 10-9 with Zion, and they're 18-27 without him. Yeah, but look at the 16 games prior to Zion's debut. The Pelicans went 11-5. They were already starting to turn around that season, and Zion just so happened to come back when that team was hot. Look, I'm not saying that Zion isn't good. I'm just saying, look, you can't take those 19 games and say it immediately encompasses what Ja Morant did in 59 games. He went 31-28 in his games played and is 19-12 since January. Look at the past 4 years. If you look at the player who won the Rookie of the Year, they all ranked in the top 150 in total win shares. Ja ranks 117th. Zion, 100 spots below that at 217. Look, if Zion had did this for 40 games, maybe even 35, I would say, yeah, okay, he deserves it. But he hasn't. Let me put it to you this way. The biggest talk in the MVP race is LeBron versus Giannis. Who deserves to win MVP? If Giannis played half as many games as he played this season, who do you think they're going to favor in the MVP race? LeBron. And you might say, oh, well, that's a bad comparison. No, it's not. It's completely the exact same. It's almost the exact same thing. Look, they both have their teams in relative similar positions. Memphis is 8th. New Orleans is 10th. And Milwaukee and LA are both tops in the conferences. And it's been a neck and neck race. So, look, I'm not saying that Zion is bad. That's one thing I want you to take away from this. Zion isn't a bad player. But don't let what he did in 19 games completely erase what Ja did in 59. Zion is a great player, but Ja has been there longer and he's had the bigger impact on the team. Look at the team that Zion joined. He wasn't the only influx of new talent on that team. They also got Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, Josh Hart, Nicolo Melli, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jackson Hayes, with veterans like J.J. Redick, who came onto that team. And then you also had Drew Holiday, who helped steady the ship. What about Ja? The only new piece for him playing this year was Brandon Clark. And the only new vets, which was Iggy, didn't even want to play for the team. And Jay Crowder, he shot the worst from the field on the entire roster. I mean, and look what Ja was able to do with this team. The team went from 30th to 13th in points per game. The team went from 30th to 7th in pace. And no one had Memphis as a top 8 team this year. I'd even have them as a top 8 team in this year, and I root for them. Even when Golden State showed that they were going to fall off the map, everyone thought, oh, it'll probably be Portland. So the fact that Ja was able to do this with Memphis should not be lost on anybody who has impact in Rookie of the Year voting. And it should be lost on anybody who's an NBA fan. I'm not trying to say that Ja Morant is the sole reason for Memphis' success. But unlike Zion with New Orleans, Ja has been there for the entirety of that success. There you go. There are my 3 sports takes and why they're wrong. Thank you for listening. See you guys on Friday.